The truth occurs.
Hi everyone. Well, a while ago I did a video called Teen Dies Taking Ayahuasca, What Really Happened? And this was about 18-year-old Kyle Nolan, who went down to Peru to take ayahuasca last August and died under mysterious circumstances. The shaman blamed the brew. He said that Kyle had exceeded the recommended dose of the brew. I found this very hard to believe. The shaman isn't likely to give someone an overdose of a brew. And besides, as I explained in my other video, ayahuasca brew has been found to be safe to take. And they take precautions. They make sure people are not taking antidepressants and things like that. So it seemed to me very unlikely that Kyle had died of the ayahuasca, since actually no one else has ever died of the brew itself before. Well, since that time, I've spoken to Kyle's father, Sean Nolan, and I've also spoken to another person called Miguel, who had some experience directly with that shaman who was supposedly overseeing Kyle's ayahuasca journey. His name was Maestro Mancoluto. And so what I found out was that Maestro Mancoluto, for one, had a habit of dosing his clients and not taking the dose himself, but dosing the clients and then leaving them unattended to wander around the jungle to find their way back to their huts. So they were not actually supervised during their ayahuasca session. While they were tripping around in the jungle unattended, Maestro Mancoluto, who by the way had an extensive criminal record, including some very unsavory charges that I've been asked not to reveal the details of, well, he would sit in a hut on a throne made of batteries watching Peruvian soap operas. Anyhow, I spoke to Kyle's father, Sean, and he told me some more things about Maestro Mancoluto. And I also spoke to a man named Miguel, and I wrote about his account. Well, actually, he wrote to me, and I put this on my blog in this article called Teen Dies Taking Ayahuasca Follow-Up. And so he describes his experiences with ayahuasca and Maestro Mancoluto, and to highlight what he said. But if you're interested in this, I'd recommend that you go on the blog and read the full account. He said the shaman didn't drink the brew he offered us to drink. He wasn't taking care of us, and we were isolated. He just gave it to them and let them just figure it out in the jungle. I mean, that's a very risky thing to do with someone who's been given a powerful drug like ayahuasca. And he also mentioned that one of the people, at one point during one of the sessions, one of the women became extremely dehydrated. And it was only because the other session participants, not the shaman, finding her and helping her out, that she ended up being okay. But I get the picture that it wasn't done under very safe circumstances. However, according to Miguel, the brew was just a standard brew, so there was no additional stuff, no toei or anything like that in there that could have poisoned Kyle. I mean, that would be very unlikely based on what Miguel knew of the way the shaman, or supposed shaman, prepared his brew. Pretty much the idea that the brew itself could have given him an overdose, it's very unlikely. So the most likely thing here is either there was foul play, or having been left to wander around the jungle, Kyle, either he could have become dehydrated like the woman that Miguel knew, something like that, and that led to his death, or he may have just had a fall or been a victim of a snake bite. But the thing is, nobody really knows yet exactly what happened to Kyle, and this is where you could help if you would like to. Kyle's father, Sean, has set up a fund here on Fundly, and he actually needs $3,500 for a written autopsy on Kyle. That's a lot of money. I don't know why the autopsy costs that much, but for some reason it does. And he's about 66% to the goal of collecting that money for the autopsy. So if you would like to help find out what actually happened to Kyle, you could make a donation, and then that would go to getting the autopsy results, and then everyone would hopefully know once and for all what happened to Kyle. It would be good to know what happened to Kyle. I think it would give his family some closure and maybe help to get some kind of justice regarding, you know, if somebody hurt him or what happened to him. there needs to be some kind of accountability. And also, I think in general, in terms of ayahuasca and ayahuasca tourism, it would be good to know what happened, because right now there's just a lot of people saying things about ayahuasca not being safe, and really there's no evidence that that's the case. So things need to get sorted out. So if you can pitch in, please donate to the Fundly Fund for Kyle Nolan's Autopsy. And please leave me your comments. And thanks for listening to me. And I'll see you next time.